Welcome back to the show. Do you know that knitters don't drive very well? They weave a lot. Enjoy the show.
Hi everybody, welcome to my knitting channel. This is episode 113. Yes, 113. This will be a post-op update later. For those of you that are following along, I had surgery. What day is it? I have no idea what day it is. Surprisingly. Okay, so I had surgery 13 days ago. So, yeah, 2 weeks tomorrow. The only thing I'm noticing is I'm not having any pain today. Well, I'm not having any pain related to my surgery today. I'm still very winded quickly, which I don't know if that's a thing. I have to wait another week until I see my doctor for my post-op visit. So I don't have any questions answered. Anyway, I will talk about that at the end of the show. So I didn't want to trigger anybody. If you have medical like PTSD like I do, that's free. I have medical PTSD, so I don't like when people talk about anything medical. I can handle my own medical stuff, but I don't want to hear about anybody else's. So I didn't want to trigger anyone that has medical stuff. But I want to talk about it in case people don't have any, if you don't know anyone that's gone through this, now you do. And I feel like women don't share their stories enough about health problems. And like the only person I have to talk to is my mother-in-law. And I think her mom also, she just sent me the sweetest get well card in the mail yesterday, and I cried over it. Anyway, so let's get into what we're doing. I'm gonna take this. I'm hot. It's hot. It's like 60 degrees out, and then there's a heater on in here, so it's a little bit warmer than I figured it would be. And I'm wearing fleece everything because it's freezing in the house. Oh, I have whips and a finished item. So, that's interesting. And I wanted to point out that one of my viewers pointed out that she sometimes gets like feedback when her phone is too close to a speaker. So I just put my phone, now you can see it. I'm going to put my phone over there and see if that does anything, because I didn't hear anything last episode. But if it helps to keep my phone away, I'll just keep my phone away. That's fine with me. Not a problem. So let's start with whips. First whip is this. I showed you this last week. It's our double layer hat made out of the Willow Verbena. I love Willow yarns. You guys, they are super, well, they have acrylics, but this is a superwash wool and nylon single ply. And for affordable wool, like they have superwash wool it's called Daily. Willow Yarns Daily. And I've actually made a sweater out of it. It is not the softest. It's not the softest, but it is superwash wool, and it's like $5 for 100 grams. It's really, really affordable. If you're looking for wool and you don't want fisherman's wool, I don't like fisherman's wool. For me, the fisherman's wool, is it Lion Brand? It's too scratchy. So Willow Daily is less scratchy than that. For me, it is skin soft. You know, it's soft enough to wear against my skin, but I don't prefer it. It might be comparable to Knit Picks Wool of the Andes, even though that is not that's not always a superwash wool, and that's Peruvian Highland wool. I think it's softer than that, and I don't care for the Knit Picks Wool of the Andes. I don't care for it against my skin. I think the Willow Yarn Daily is softer than that, but I don't know what kind. It just says wool. It's superwash wool. I don't know what kind of wool. It's probably just a blend of wools. But I think it is skin soft, and I'm pretty sure, is it cheaper? Yeah, because it's probably comparable to Wool of the Andes, because that's like $3 for 50 grams. That's about $6 for 100 grams. And it comes in a bunch of colors. So it's less ends to weave in for 100 grams. But anyway, Willow Yarns is like one of those companies that I feel like is underrated and not talked about enough. They do have acrylics. This is a superwash nylon blend, single ply, superwash wool. It is made in China, so if that bothers you, whatever. But it's one of those like workhorse yarn companies that is, I feel like, not talked about enough. This is self-striping. The Verbena is a sport weight self-striping single ply. I hate single ply yarns. I bought this not realizing it was a single ply because I got excited by all the colors, and I bought one of each color. So there were a lot. There were like 8 colors, and I bought them all. And they're gonna make cute hats. I'm making these to donate to my TNR cat groups to help them with their silent auctions to raise funds. Just because I was gonna do destash, and I was like, "What? I'm gonna knit anyway." And I have more time to knit than I have to knit the things that I want. Does that make sense? So I figured, since I'm not currently fostering kittens anymore, I was a bottle feeder for 7 years, 5, a lot of years. And it's exhausting. So now that I'm not doing that, I wanted to have a different way to help them out. So this is color Seabed. Shebed. So I hate single ply. Single ply to me just shows all of your mistakes. There's no hiding any of your mistakes if it's a single ply. That's what I feel. So this is a double layer. I did figure out, I forget what I said, 325s. I almost feel like I could go lower, but if I go any lower, that's a 275. And that's fingering weight. So I don't want to go any lower, and you really can't. I mean, I can't see through this. It feels it's going to be it's going to be comparable to my single layer fingering weight hats, which is what I wanted. I'm trying to remember how many I did though. Okay, 3, 2, 5. I did not write down how many stitches. Okay, here. Did I not keep track of what I did? I mean, it's not like I can't count the stitches are on my needles. I can count. I'm just wondering. So I tried a 375 millimeter, and then I tried the 350 millimeter, and the 325 was what I had to go down to. Yeah, 350 I did 120, and that was too loose gauge. So, okay, so the 325, I must have done less than 120. I'm pretty sure in my last episode I said what I did, so I'm going to have to, I forgot to watch that last night. Usually I watch the last episode before I come in here so I can update my notes. But since I'd been doing these before and after my surgery, I don't have a lot of memories about it. But I've already told you how to do this hat like 8 million times. Start with a pinhole cast on. Isn't that beautiful? Pinhole cast on. It's a crochet cast on. So you just start with a crochet hook. Pinhole. And I love these little pinwheels. So pretty. This will actually be the inside of the hat though, so it doesn't matter. I prefer to do my outside of the hat with the decreases. I just think they look better than the cast on. But I still have so much. I was worried it wouldn't be a big enough hat with having to go down to the 325 because the ball band says a 375 and I always have to go down like 2 needle sizes whenever I make anything. I don't know what my gauge is though. I typically just go till I like the fabric. And I know what I like in a hat fabric, so that's what I did here. I also had another one started in this that was on the 350, but I'm going to finish this and block it and make sure everything is good, and then I'll restart the other one. And then these will all be just, because this is easy, just stockinette in the round. So like whenever my pain's bad or I'm tired, you don't have to pay any attention. This you kind of have to because this is so easily split. I hate single play. This like splits easily, so I have to keep like going down. I'm sorry, my brain is. I have to ladder down. What is? And fix it and go back up. So I'm really not trying to be too, because this is going to be the inside of the hat anyway. Really any part of the hat is going to be inside the hat, so it doesn't matter. But obviously I've been working on this a lot through my. I actually didn't knit like the first week. My recovery is pretty rough for me, so the first week, like, I didn't do anything. Okay, my second whip is the same thing. Double layer hat, but this is the cotton, the bamboo pop, cotton bamboo. I also got a lot done in this. This is for my husband. You can see the pinwheel cast on, or the pinhole cast on, and then the pinwheel increases a little bit better here. I love that it's almost like a slub yarn. It's just this, like, it reminds me of that silk bamboo kobasai, cotton bamboo silk kobasai. Do you know what kobasai? It's a lot like that. It's a little bit stretchy, but because it's got this little bit of texture, it looks almost like a slub, like a thick, thin. It's neat. It's really neat, and it feels like a cotton. This is not my favorite thing to work on, which sucks because it's like 500 yards. This is a 275 millimeters. I think 120. No, whatever the sock. The same number as Sockhead. 144, I think. 144 stitches, 144 stitches. Pinhole cast on 8s with 8, and then you just increase by 8s until you get. So you could do this on any weight of yarn, with whichever needle size you want. Just make sure that your beginning circle is enough for the radius of your head. For me, I like to be comparable. I like the fit of the Sockhead hat, which is a little bit floppy. It's not tight to your head. It's nice but like the wind's not going to knock it off. You know what I mean? But I don't like it to be. I don't like my hats to be too tight. So 144 works for us. Nice and loose on an adult, like 21-inch head. I have been working on this, so you'll see this has gotten a little bit bigger. This is going to take forever though. This yarn is also very hard to, it splits. And I don't know if it splits or if it's just like, do you see this? There's like just weirdness that I'm sure is just cotton and bamboo, and it'll block out fine. I'm assuming. Like I did ladder down. Is that what I'm calling it? When you go down and then you bring it back up, drop down, you drop down a stitch, and then fix it as you go up. And there's nothing wrong with these. It's got to be just the slub-like texture that makes it do that. Because I kept fixing stuff that didn't need. It was like there's nothing wrong with it. So, but if you're used to cotton, I think that's just a cotton thing. I don't work with cotton that much because I don't really like it. It's annoying. I don't like cotton. So I'm having a little bit of a rainbow project happening here. I'm doing another Sockhead Cowl. This is 160 cast on 275. I have a lot of fingering projects. I prefer fingering weight with smaller needles. I don't know why. It's easier for me. The problem. Oh, this yarn. I love this yarn. Mitchell's Creations. This is. I think they have rebranded since I bought this. This is really kind of old. This is. Oh, Drunken Unicorns. I missed. I'm gonna have to edit my post in that group. Drunken Unicorns. This is 75% merino, superwash merino, 25% nylon, 463 yards, 100 grams. This one, it got cut up into three pieces, but it's black with a little bit of neon rainbow. I was making a sockhead hat out of this, and then the wool just snapped. It like part of it unraveled. Like I have one of the plies. I'll show you because I hate when this happens. See, one of the plies got snagged. So it doesn't look like it's. I'm gonna have to cut it, but it doesn't look like it just. I was trying to, roll it. It's not happening. Let's have a snap, and then this happened, like all over here. So I don't remember how this happened. It was probably me. Because this was a sockhead hat at one point, but it's. I liked it too much, and I didn't want it to be a hat, so now it's going to be a cowl. But I got to figure out which way it goes, and then that means part of that black's going to have to be cut out. So I'm worried it's going to interfere with the pooling, but maybe it'll be okay. No one's going to know, right? I'll know, but no one else will know. This one's going to be, I'm actually going to keep this one because I love this. I love this color. It's not even like a rainbow. It's like purple and not even really blue. It's purple and then turquoise and then a bit of green and then yellow, a little bit of orange, and then pink and then purple again. So it's not really maybe it's like a neon rainbow, but it's not like an actual rainbow that starts and ends with purple. But I love it. So this will be one for me. I just started this last night, and that's all I've got done, like 12 rounds. Also, I ordered needle protectors because I already broke my bag. I already put a hole in this bag, my favorite bag. This is from Whimsy Stitches, so I ordered some protectors. I really should have done that before. Because obviously needles are sharp. What are you doing? You're going to sit at that door and wait for him to feed you? My finished item is Sockhead Cowl. This yarn is Laughing Cat Fibers. I feel like I talk about her every show. Not a stalker, I promise. It's weird because being a goth girl TM, right? Like, her stuff's not goth. It's like the most ridiculously colored yarn I've ever seen. And she does, I love her deep space stuff, like, because there's black in it and color, and I love it. This is black, called Black Tails. The dyes are UV reactive. So the black light, UV light, these will glow, which doesn't matter because where am I going to go? I haven't decided if I'm going to keep this one or put this up for my the auctions for the kitty cats. This is a merino or the cashmere blend. Pretty sure cashmere blends. This is 400 and I think 25 yards. Made a pretty nice size cowl. I wanted to measure because I feel like this might be too much. You're supposed to do 4 inches of ribbing. I did 48 and then I worked to like 30 grams and then I ended up with 52. So then I was mad because 48 and 52, I'm like, you could have just had 50 and 50, like, dummy. So yeah, this is exactly 4 inches of ribbing. So 4 and 4.5. So I was thinking like, and then like 7-ish inches of stockinette. I was thinking like, that's 30 grams, and 40. Because you have ribbing, and then stockinette. So 30, 60, 40. What if we did 50, 25, 25? Just saying. So I was originally going to go up because I did 48 and 52. I was going to go up and do 50. And then I'm like, well, why don't we just go down from 48, right? I'm going to put this on so you can actually see it. Oh, my favorite neighbor's home. Awesome. So the cool thing about this that I like is that it stays up around your face. The hilarious thing about this, oh my god, I look like I'm about to rob a bank. The most hilarious part of this is that this, okay, when I first got this, I made it into the lucky number shawl. And then I blocked it. And I can tell you that I used a jasmine scented Eucalyptus. And I can tell you that because I reblocked this last night with unscented Eucalyptus, and it still smells like jasmine. So, good God, that scent is so overwhelming and overlasting that you can reblock it and it's still there. So, if you like the jasmine, gosh darn, does it last. I don't actually have a problem with the jasmine. I think it smells nice. It's just too much for me. So, I had to switch to unscented. It also hugs you good here, like this. And if you don't want it like that, do just tuck it. I really like this cowl, and I hate cowls. I'm not a cowl person. I made one other cowl. I think it's called the Willow cowl. That had like a fold-over brim on the beginning and the end, and I just thought that was gorgeous, but I never wear it because I don't like cowls. This cowl I love. I don't know why. It fits really good. And it's pretty, like, I don't like the ones that are too long. I don't like the ones that are, like, too, like, tight. And this one is just, like, perfect. Look at it. It's not killing me. It fits nice. You can have it up or down or, like, whatever you want. I'm wondering if that's too much. Do you think that's too much of the ribbing? My problem is I don't mind the. I don't like doing the ribbing. Is it 2x2 ribbing? So, like, doing it for, like, 50 rounds, I'm, like, over it, right? You're like, oh, my God, I've done 12 on the new one, and I'm like, Brienne, I swear to God. The same Chewy box, different cats. So I'm trying to decide if I want to do it the same way or do like 50 stitches is like an easy thing. But then like so is just 25 grams. So I'm trying to decide how I want to do it. If I want to just work 25 and 25. And then I'll work 50 grams will be the stockinette. But does it matter if I'm also doing a double layer hat that's all if I just want to do stockinette, I can just do that, right? Ooh, little tornado. I love little wind tornadoes. Did I tell you I was in a tornado when I was a little kid? I was in a tornado. My dad threw me and my mom on the floor of the car and got down on top of us. There was a tornado through a parking lot. I have no memory of it at all. Because I would have been less than 2. Because my sister was born when I was 2 and it was just me. So I don't even remember it. Obviously. But I like the claim that I was in a tornado. Tornadoes are terrifying. These are actually a lot like these tops that I've been making. So I think these are actually... So I worked this until... Okay, the start ribbing, which was 48 plus the cast on. I do the backwards loop. It's like a backwards loop. It's in my recommended viewing. It's just this, it's a video with like no words of this lady just using her finger to twist and cast on. That is a cast on you use for everything, unless I'm using the pinhole cast on for hats. And if I'm doing a shawl, that only has like, I love it. Only has like started like 4 stitches. I'll do long tail if it's like less than 20 stitches. Otherwise, I'm doing my backwards loop because it stretches the same as your stuff. I can't even tell which of these is the cast on and which of these is the bind off. I mean, if I looked at it, oh, I could tell because of my... This is the cast off. So here's my cast off. And here's my bind up. Yeah, here's the cast. Is this the cast on? I think this is the cast on. They're both super stretchy. And so this does not feel at all like you can't stretch it over your head. So they are stretching the same amount. That's why I do that backwards loop cast on. Because, number one, it'll never twist. You cannot twist your work using it. You can't twist. You would have to intentionally... It won't hold a twist because there's only one thread going between each cast. It's just a loop. And then a twist. So you cannot twist it. You cannot twist. So if you're going to do like a Mobius, is that what's called, Mobius? Where you intentionally have a twist, don't use that cast on because it won't work. You would have to do like one row and then put in a twist. It won't twist. It will not twist. And then actually one row would probably be like a normal cast on. I hate taking time for cast ons and I hate when my stuff, look at how stretchy this is. It's as stretchy as the thing. I hate when my stuff's not stretchy. I hate I absolutely hate when my cast on and bind off are not stretchy. So for the cast on, I do the backwards loop, and then for the bind off, it's a Jenny surprisingly stretchy because you're already in this. So you knit, yarn over, knit, pull the 2 off, right? And then you yarn over, purl, pull this off, yarn over, purl. So just the one with the yarn overs in between. If I am not doing that, and I go up 1 needle size, just 1 needle size, just the next one in my pack, I have to do that. Then it works. Sure, breath again. Then it's nothing. It is a nothing. That's how I make stuff stretchy. If I'm not doing a ribbing at the end, like a shawl, I might do the knit 2 together, bind off again with a big 1 size bigger needle. I feel like that works really well after garter, which is usually how my shawls are ended, is with some garter. So if it's after garter, I use this knit 2 together, but knit 2 together, knit another one, knit 2 together. That's the other bind off I use. I typically don't use any other bind off. Like I don't use any other bind off. I mean, I'll do Kitchener, like obviously if you're grafting, but like I typically use this one. I typically use the stretchy one. Like for cuffs, sweaters, any ribbing, you get that because then it does this, and it's my favorite. Love this pattern, love this yarn, love everything about it. Except for the smell. The reason I'm thinking about donating this is because I think a UV reactive would bring them some money. That's why I'm thinking of doing it. So what I want to say. Oh, I started the first 48 rounds was about 26 grams. So 48 rounds, and the cast on was 26 grams. So we could probably go down to like 46. Then what's the point? 46. Basically, it's like a half gram per round. Oh my god. That means my thing was like 100 grams. That means it was like 200 rounds. It seems like a ridiculous amount of work, doesn't it? 200 rounds. That seems like a lot. Anyway, I started the ribbing then at 30.66. And after 52 rows, I started the bind off at 0.47 grams. I cut off 0.26 grams, so 146 minus 26. My bind off was actually 121, which I was actually going to start the bind off with 125, but then I was like, oh, closer to 150 is probably safer for my first one. So I like knowing that 125 but that's too close. 125 to 121 is too close for me. I'd go like 135 at least. To get, because you're still gonna need, now that includes sewing in the end. That includes sewing in the end and blocking, and then cutting afterwards. So being left with 0.26, because it's right here, 0.26. So that's all that's left. This means I win. This means I win. And I'll show you how I start too, because he lives there. That's Chuck. I start with this much. So this will go right into the ribbing. It'll just be put right down in there to be part of the ribbing. So I literally, that's all I cut off was that 0.26. I didn't cut off anything else. The other ends, I wove in. See the ribbing? So that's all I had to cut was that end piece, which if it hadn't been 0.26, but I mean, you can't like actually use it all up because you wouldn't be able to finish the bind off because it'd be too small. And then, well, I guess technically you could, but it's going to be real hard to hold that to tension your yarn when it's not enough to wrap around your hands. You know what I mean? So pretty proud of that, how that all worked out. Nice going. So, I'm going to sit here and tell you a little bit about my surgery. For those of you that are interested. Otherwise, I'm not sure if I'm going to see you next week or the week after. It's going to depend how much work I get done and what I feel like doing, because I'm not quite sure. I still have another 30 days of healing. They say just 6 weeks to heal from surgery, so I still have 30 days, literally 29 days left. March 16th will be my 6 weeks of healing. I've already got a countdown going. I did not enjoy having surgery. The worst for me, now I'm at 2 weeks tomorrow. I did not even take Tylenol today. I'm feeling fine except for my normal abdomen pain, which I'm assuming means that my chronic abdominal pain was not from my uterus or the or the cysts or any, so none of that was causing my pain. My bloating is just as bad as it was, so I'm assuming this is probably going to be then connected to my IBS, which is okay because while I've been trying to treat my IBS and my, PMS and heavy periods and painful periods and all that, those two medical fields have been at odds, blaming each other for my entire life. The gastroenterologist goes, it's you need to see a gyno. The gyno says you need to see a gastroenterologist. So they keep blaming the other person. So at least now, any pain that was attributed to that is not going to be, I'm not going to have cramps anymore. So now when I have cramps, I know it's IBS. I don't have to go, is this IBS? Is this PMS or cramping? So I've got one totally X'd off. So we know that's not going to be it. So I guess now I focus on my IBS and get that under control because I'm still as bloated as before. I've been measuring myself every day. Every day from getting home to sort of do I look less bloated yet? No, you're exactly the same bloated as you were. I didn't even lose an inch. It's still... Also, I couldn't see. I was having blurred vision, which my vision is always blurred. If I take off my glasses, I can see this far in my face. I am so nearsighted. I can't see anything. Everything else is blur, right? So even with my glasses on, I couldn't see anything. Everything was blurry. It felt like my eyes were so tired that they couldn't focus. I couldn't make my eyes focus. They were just bloop, 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 bloop. Could not be bothered to focus. They were off having a good time doing something else. So I'm like, maybe tell her that too. And so she called us back Monday after 5. And she's like, yeah, I'm going to need you guys to go to the ER, but I need you to go to the ER in network with the hospital. So can you go downtown? Oh, like what? It was like a half-hour drive. And I'm in pain. And I'm like, no. So, but she did call me in painkillers. And then, which then I could take in half. So, went to the ER. We were there for 6 hours. I don't know. It was, I mean, they got me back right away because I was like, I just had surgery Thursday, right? This is Monday. Like I had surgery. I'm having blurred vision. And so they gave me a CT scan. Guess what? I got a freaking huge tumor in my sinus cavity. Right here, osteomy. They typically don't have any symptoms except for headache, but I'm telling you, that throat thing I've been having starts with sinus drainage. And I'm like, seriously? Like, then they find a tumor. I'm like, of course they did. No one told me that at the hospital. That I had to figure out on my own when I got my little, your chart has been updated. There are new things in your chart, right? So you go to look at your chart. It's like, it's 15 centimeters. So 15. It's bigger than the fibroids. The fibroids were like 2.5. Like the fibroids weren't even bad now. And I'm like, I got a 15 centimeter. That's bigger than a pea in my sinus right here. Your sinus in your forehead. So it's on my left side. So it's wherever your sinus is in here. So I've been taking Claritin, which is stopping my post-nasal drip, which is what, I don't know if it's going to fix the thing, but I have been having this mucus, and everyone's like, oh, you're just nervous, and you've seen too many doctors about this, and there's nothing wrong with you. I don't have allergies. I just always have, like, mucus. It's just a thing. So if I remember to take the Claritin every day, it's less, so that does not give me any side effects. I'm able to take Claritin and Tylenol and Zofran without any type of side effects, which is rare. I always get, so like me having blurred vision was not it was a weird thing, but I figured with everything that they had me on, something was going to happen. So anyway, they give me a CT scan, take my blood. They couldn't get me to bleed, probably because I was so dehydrated because I'd been in pain all weekend with, nothing, and I wasn't eating and drinking. I'm still not eating or drinking well. But today's the first day that I feel like normal and I feel like I can get around, but I'm the shortness of breath thing is that, I wonder if that's like I didn't read any of my discharge stuff I didn't read any like healing from your hysterectomy. Like I couldn't find anything like from that, so I didn't read anything. Plus I don't like to scare myself. So anyway, I'm still trying to get through the story. Then they had to call in an eye doctor. Who was this young little Asian kid. I swear to God, like every time I see a doctor that looks really young, and I don't know if he just looked young because he was Asian, and Asian people always look young, and it's maddening. But like, he looked really young. Like he looked like he might not be able to get into a bar yet. He looked very, very young to me. And I didn't want to say anything because I don't want to, but do you ever wonder, like, is this a Doogie Howser situation? Like, are you ever, like, when you see a doctor that's really young, you're like, this is a Doogie Howser, like, did you skip grades and you were, like, in college when you were, like, 14? Like, do you ever, I always wonder that because I want to meet someone that actually was like Doogie Howser, right? But I didn't say anything because I figure he hears it all the time and probably worse. So I try to be really nice to anyone that is serving me, whether it's a waitress or a doctor or nurse or someone taking my blood, someone rolling me down to get a CT scan. I'm always trying to be very, very, even when I'm in pain and really bad pain. I'm trying to be so nice and thank them for doing their job. And like, he had to get called in, and I'm like, I'm so sorry to drag out. And then I like to like ask him I asked him what he wanted to be. I'm like, did you always want to be an eye doctor? I'm like, that's a weird thing to be like, I love eyes, I want to be an eye doctor. And he said, no, I want to be a pilot. And I was like, what? That's so neat. And like, do you play a lot of pilot video games? And he was like, yeah. Because I'm like, what other way could you be a pilot if you're not an actual pilot? He was short too, so I think there are, I know like for Air Force, there are like height requirements, right, to be a pilot. And he was on the shorter side, taller than me, obviously, but shorter side. He wasn't like 6 feet tall. So I was like, I wonder if he's, but I didn't, I don't like to get too personal with that. I was like, oh. I'm like, then you got to eyeballs. That's a weird, like, and he goes, yeah, I like the eye surgery is interesting. And I'm like, oh my God, yeah, like when they pop your eyes out for the LASIK. And he was like, yeah. And I was like, that's cool. So he did the eye drops that enlarge your pupils, which I had never had done before because I'm a baby when it comes to my eyes. And like being blind is like one of my biggest fears because I had glasses in second grade, fourth grade, one of those. I could not see. I didn't even know I couldn't see. I didn't know that trees had leaves. I don't know how that even makes any sense, but that's how little I was. I didn't realize that trees had actual leaves. Like I had seen leaves and I had seen trees. But when I looked at trees, I couldn't see their individual leaves because they were too far away. Because I can see this close to my face. So I was like, do they though? So that was the first thing I realized. Can you see how thick my glasses are? Do you see that? It has some thick glasses. I can't even see you. Okay. So I remember when I got my first pair of glasses, I remember looking out the window on the way home and marveling that I could see leaves on the trees way up top. Like I could see that they had actual leaves. And I think that's when I started being in love with trees, because like, oh my God, they actually do have leaves. Like, but somehow my little brain hadn't put that together, even though I had seen leaves and had seen trees. But the trees were too far away for me to see the individual leaves. Isn't that funny? To this day, I love trees. Love trees. Love trees. Love leaves. I love trees. So anyway, on the way home, they finally let us go. I said, we don't know. It's probably just, medication. You've had a lot of medications. It could be any of those. If it doesn't clear up in a couple days, I guess then we've got big problems. So I had stopped all my meds at that point. I hadn't been on anything because the anti-inflammatory, something was giving me a stomach ache, so I just stopped everything except for Tylenol, I think. So like, I think the next night I was able to see, or the day after that, I don't remember, but it came back. It was okay. I've been okay. But on the way home, like all the lights looked like Christmas trees. It was amazing. And I'm like talking to my husband about how pretty the lights are on the way home. The funniest thing happens. Okay, I went into the bathroom to get ready for bed. Did I go in to brush my teeth? I don't know what the hell I was doing. Because I'm still like on meds. I'm still insane at this point. I'm in a lot of pain. I can't move. It hurt. Everything hurts. I'm just on Tylenol. And like, I'm still kind of drugged up. So I go into the bathroom. Oh, I know what I was doing. I needed to wipe my eyes because it felt like I had like 6 coats of mascara on from the eye drops that he had been putting all in my eyes. And my eyelashes felt like tarantula legs. Like they felt so fuzzy. And I was like, oh my God, I just want to wipe my eye off. So this is what happens, guys. I wet a face cloth, right, in the sink. And I go to put it up to my eye. And I catch my eye in the mirror. And my pupils are so huge. And I have very green eyes. And the rims of my eyes in the light looked yellow. Like not the whites of my eyes, the iris looked yellow. So it looked like I had yellow eyes with big black pupils. And I immediately thought that there was an alien in my bathroom. So I fell to the floor, like belly to the, like hit the deck. Okay. You know what I mean? When I say hit the deck, like hit the deck, like push-up position, right? Where you're like this on the ground. And then I realized, you just freaking thought your own eye was a goddamn alien, you idiot. So I started laughing. And I started laughing so hard, I was crying. And I think it was like just a release of, like an emotional release from having the surgery a few days before. And all that pent up fear and everything from like the month before coming out of the surgery. I was crying. And my husband comes rushing in and he's like, oh my God, are you okay? Why are you crying? And I'm like, laugh. And I'm like, I thought my own eye was an alien. I thought it was an alien. I thought my own eye was an alien in my bed. What would an alien even be doing in my bathroom? Doesn't matter. I thought my eye was an alien eye. It was ridiculous. I will put, if you want to see what my eye looked like, I don't remember if I put a picture up. I will, when I post this video on Instagram, I will post a photo of it with my link to the video, to this episode 113. I will show you what my eye looks. It was hilarious. Oh my God. I never laughed. I don't think I've laughed that hard in my life. Like I could not breathe. I was holding my belly. It hurt so bad to be laughing like that, but it was the funniest. I thought my own eye was an alien. Like, it doesn't even make any sense. Like, what? Oh my God. What? And my first instinct is to hit the deck. What the hell? What? You're not even trying. You're not even going to try to fight. You're not even going to try to fight an alien. You're not even going to say hi. You're just going to hit the deck. More nonsense. I'm probably going to cut this down to be 20 minutes again. Did you like that last episode? It was like 30 minutes, 20-something minutes. It was hilarious. I got tired of editing. And I was like, we'll stop here. So I hope you guys like that. I might do it again because I'm just ridiculous with what I'm talking about. That's my cat, Brienne. She's not the one that makes noise. That's Tormund, but he is... I can't see him. He's right there looking out the window. He's right by the weight bench looking out the window. Can you see Lily? No, she's right there. Oh, you can see her. That Lola. Hi, Nani. Hi, pretty girl. You doing okay? So I'm going to go eat because I'm hungry. It's like 4 o'clock. I got to eat. I'm really hungry. I don't know when I'll be back, guys. Either next week or the week after. Next week or the week after. I'm not sure. It's going to depend how many projects. If I have projects done in a week, I'll probably come back on. But I think I'm going to keep these short because I'm still not up to 100%. And I feel like my brain is stupid. Which is weird because I'm not on any meds. Why does my brain feel stupid? Because I'm unmedicated. Go get on some meds. You need some meds. Still haven't seen my psychiatrist. Still have not. I have like 3 more weeks till I see her. I'm mad about that. Anyway, I'm leaving because I'm hungry. I'll see you next time. Not sure when that'll be, but take care of yourselves. Okay, goodbye.